Welcome back to the No Culture for Old Men podcast. As always, Lawrence, Ben, James here to discuss the hot tops and the NBA and whatever else we could think of during the day. But first, I want to have a quick moment in American history. Today, on July 17th, James Weldon Johnson was born in 1871. He is a member of the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity and was also a leader of the NAACP, and he was also the author of Lift Every Voice and Sing. So that is your
right.
small Black History moment. Remember, Black people are doing amazing things every day. So take the time out and find out what that's about.
Thanks for
Moving
that,
on,
man.
gentlemen.
And to follow up with that, breaking news as of this morning, Juneteenth will become an official federal holiday. I think Joe Biden probably signed that an hour or so ago this afternoon. The official date is the 19th, which falls on the Saturday. But since it falls on the Saturday, Friday will be the official federal holiday for the first time this year. From what I'm hearing, most federal agencies are taking advantage and will be off tomorrow. So if you're a federal government employee, hey, congratulations. You got a day off tomorrow. But of course, know why you have a day off. It's for the celebration of Juneteenth, the unofficial, official last day of slavery. Of course, Juneteenth is based on the fact that out in Texas, people finally got the news that slavery had ended pretty much almost 2 years after the official announcement. So this was really the last outpost in which slaves received the notice that they were free. So happy Juneteenth to everyone tomorrow. Enjoy the day and remember why we have it all. Hey, just to jump into some quick pop culture stuff real quick. We talked a little bit about verses. I think it was Eve and Trina. I don't think much came out of that. So Tyrone, any comments on it?
No, I mean it was a whack.
That's what we needed to hear.
I didn't know any Trina songs to begin with. I mean, how many times can you talk about your butt being big?
Yeah, you don't know that.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Yeah, that's the only song I know. That's Trina, right?
Don't you dare disrespect Trina like that. She's an icon, a queen.
So she's an icon?
She's a queen, but so she didn't have a lot of songs.
We lowering our standards for icons if we see. Okay.
No, we are not.
Okay, if Trina is an icon.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I'm guessing she made probably some kind of history with her album. Just for the period of time that it came out, I'm sure she probably hit a sales mark or something.
She's a low budget little Kim. Nobody cares.
Hey, she's popular for a hot minute.
That
I
is
ain't mad at her.
I'm
sure they loved her down south, man.
I do not co-sign that at all.
I like Trina, man.
All
shots not her fault.
I'm a big fan of Eve too. What's that little show she used to have on YouTube?
Eve. It's called Eve.
Yeah. It's called Eve. It was called Eve, yeah, bro.
I just watched it. I was just watching them on Hulu or someplace.
It's still a good rerun to watch.
It's still a good watch.
I'm a big Eve fan because she's from Philly. She's from Germantown.
Exactly.
But Trina, I could do without Trina.
Come on, man.
East Coast bias is always.
But did y'all see the Madden cover came out today?
Who's on it?
It's Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady.
They put both of them on there?
Yeah.
Did they give it a special name like the GOAT?
It's the MVP version or whatever.
They might as well just put the GOAT on there and call it a day. But
so that's the first time two athletes have been on the Madden cover.
Really?
One time. Yeah, it's always been one person.
Yeah, I know 1 year they did do multiple people, but they were on there individually.
Right.
So you're saying they're both on there side by side?
Yep.
Oh, that's kind of hot.
So that came out today.
Okay. And I think there used to be the Madden curse. I guess that doesn't exist anymore.
I don't want my best player on the Madden cover, but whatever.
Yeah, me neither.
They usually break their legs or something.
For a long time, that was the thing. Madden.
Yeah, it was a good run. Like 5 years straight, whoever was on there got jacked.
But it started with Vic, right?
Vic, Barry Sanders,
McNabb towards ACL when he
McNabb was on there. Yeah, I remember Sanders got hurt. Vic got hurt.
I think the bus was the only person that wasn't affected. Like during
who didn't get affected. Yeah, it like skipped over him over the bus. And then the next year was I think it was a running back, maybe Tennessee back in the day, Eddie George.
Eddie George, yeah, he got hit.
I think he suffered injury. I mean, he didn't miss a whole season, but he missed some games.
Did Dante Culpepper get hurt when he was on the cover? I believe he did.
I thought he got benched.
Well, that's worse.
He didn't play well. He actually just didn't play well, from what I recall. And I remember Gus Frerotte coming in for him. So be it.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. Okay. All right, guys. Hey, there's a lot of news in the NBA over the past couple days. It's been hot and heavy, man. You know, it's hard to know where to start. But hey, if you follow No Culture for Old Men on IG, you probably been getting all the updates. We get them before the big boys getting them. We got coaching updates. We got score updates. We got injury updates. You know, we got MVP updates. We got a whole bunch of updates coming out on this thing. So I'm just going to scroll through them, and I'll show you what you haven't heard about. Number one, as of today, Rick Carlisle just stepped down as coach of the Dallas Mavericks. What do y'all think of that?
It's very important because, for one, their coach stepped down and the GM is leaving. Yeah. So from what I'm seeing right now, per the Bleacher Report, because they get all the news first, Luka's not happy, and Luka wants out.
Wow.
So that shakes up their organization, and he was supposed to sign that Supermax this summer. All rumors are pointing to Luka going to the Lakers.
Who's saying he's not happy? Is that something that's being reported or what?
Everybody that reports basketball is reporting this right now.
I wonder if that's assumption or if they really got some tea on that.
Well, Woj is even reporting this, and when Woj reports it,
I kind of take it for what it is.
It's a fact.
I mean, you got to figure that's the only coach he's known, and you got to feel that he has a comfort with him, and for the GM to be gone too, that's a lot of change for him, man. So he's probably feeling some kind of way.
But was there a reason for Donnie Nelson stepping down, or was it what's behind that? Because he's been there for like 25 years.
That's the thing. It's it says Mark Cuban and the GM were going back and forth. They had difference of opinion about how to go forth with the team, and Donnie was like, you know what, I'm out.
Well, you know what? I think what's happened here, and this is just my guess, is I don't know if you guys have heard that Dallas had hired this analytics guy, and he was a poker player, a pro poker player, professional gambler, and he's actually been given a lot of input to the GM and to the coaching, and I've heard that is an issue. He's straight analytics. He's trying to moneyball the maths, and people aren't liking it. And I heard Luka hasn't liked it either. I can't think of this guy's name right now. We'll fact check that. But yeah, he's strictly a professional gambler who's now running analytics and has a lot of input. I'm sure maybe Donnie didn't appreciate that at all.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that violate some kind of cheating rules for a professional gambler to have influence with the NBA team?
Former professional gambler.
Oh, former. Still, it seems like that's.
It's poker, man. They play that on ESPN. He's like a ESPN game, like on ESPN gambling poker.
Oh, okay.
One of those kind of guys, just professional card player.
It says Tim McMahon on ESPN is reporting that Rick Carlisle and Luka Doncic's relationship was strained, which caused the coach to step down.
Oh, okay.
So I was wrong. He didn't like how he was handling things.
It's a lot going on there, and I'll say this. Players win these championships, man. You better keep Luka happy. You better.
You better keep Luka happy.
Man, I'm against all that.
Against what?
I'm starting to
Keeping players
side.
happy.
I'm starting to side with these coaches.
It's a star-driven league, man.
Man, I'm still trying to start. I'm starting to side with some of these coaches.
I get it.
Some of these stars get get a leeway that they don't deserve. They don't earn. Um, Luca might be one of the young people, who is earning his way to have a say in something like that. But some cats have say or seem to be able to make up rules that they shouldn't be able to make up. And I don't understand it.
You're basically saying prove it to me first before you get
Yeah,
all the flowers, basically.
exactly.
A lot of people giving out flowers nowadays. I don't really get that either, but
Yeah, but Luke ain't one of them guys.
no, I agree. Luke is a beast.
And
Luke,
we can look at Dallas's team. Other than Luca, they're a little light on the talent side.
They are indeed.
So
I mean, they need to build a program to support Luca and get him to the next level. They can't expect him to. This 2 years in a row, he's carried this team deeper than they really should have gone. I mean, they need to start building around him and help him out. It is what it is. Hey, let's move on with coaching news. Also in coaching news, another parting of the ways. Scott Brooks from the Washington Wizards. They framed it. Yeah, we called it last week, right? They framed it as, of course, him not signing a new contract or coming to a contract agreement. Also, reports are that their GM is on a short leash as well. So the Wizards could be they're doing a hiring search for a coach, but at the same time, their GM could be out also in a year or two. What direction do we think the Wizards should go?
Rebuild from the bottom up, or like rebuild.
Yeah.
Because talent, they're not great. It's not a destination for free agents. You're not going to get the big free agents. So you got to rebuild, start from the draft, try to get some young talent, try to get some picks, and go from there. Get a little placeholder coach, because once you get some talent, you're not going to keep that coach. So maybe Alvin Gentry's a good placeholder. He does that a lot.
I don't do that to that man. Hopefully he won't take it.
Well, he will.
I don't know what rebuild means. Because I don't know what they've been doing for the last 6-8 years.
10.
10 years since they drafted Wall. They haven't made any significant changes. Like I said, they can't seem to get any free agents. They don't seem to have a strategy. They don't have an identity. Yeah, I don't know who has the dream of what the Wizards are supposed to be, but nobody seems to have one.
Yeah. This is a surprise. I agree with both of y'all. And to Tyrone's point, I say blow it up, man. Let's be done with it. Let's move on. Make Bill leave, even though he doesn't want to leave. Trade him and get some picks, and let's keep it pushing. I'm sure he'll be happy after he's on a winning team. I mean, you can't just keep supermaxing this guy, and he's going to play on a 20-win team. I'm sure Russell's not going to stick around next year. I don't see that happening. I mean, he's going to be a Laker or a Clipper or something next year. So let's just blow it up, start fresh, maybe keep one or two young guys that you have on the team, keep Hachimura, and that's really about it. And let's keep it pushing. And maybe you can trade him for some picks. Who knows? I would just start completely over. Do what Seattle did when Seattle was going to sell and they were going to move to Oklahoma City. Just blow it up, and hopefully you'll get lucky in the draft.
But let me ask you this. Is the draft that good enough? Is the draft good enough nowadays to do that?
Not anymore.
Like, I think Boston got lucky with the Brown and the Tatum. I think they got lucky. But yeah. I don't know if that works anymore. But I know what the Wizards are doing now is not working. It's just that's not working. So you have to do something. But I don't know what the draft.
I think if you get a decent evaluator of talent, you can at least get one gem out of every draft. I mean, look at Oklahoma City. Now they have a different game plan than most teams, but they manage somehow to draft a pretty good player every year. that they end up trading or moving on from, but they managed to get one good player a year out of it.
I think overseas is you got to look at overseas players.
I mean, anything should be open to the Wizards at this point, because the only other way you're going to get there is free agency, and as we've all said, it's not a destination. So I think they need to decide what their identity is going to be and go from there. I mean, I don't believe I'm saying this. Look at the Knicks. The Knicks made a pretty quick change just by changing their identity with a solid coach, and now it may be a free agent destination for some franchise type players. So we'll see what the Wizards do. One more thing, coaching news, real quick. Stan Van Gundy is parted ways with the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, this is my thing. You could have just might as well kept Alvin Gentry from a year ago instead of going to him if you're going to fire him in a year. I don't really get this move. What did they think they were getting with Van Gundy? And what do they think they're going to get in the future? I heard a good stat today, last thing. You know, there's only 8 coaches in the NBA currently who have won a championship. So don't tell me you're going to get a championship coach. There's only 8 of them.
I just find it weird that Van Gundy's one of the oldest coaches and got the second youngest team. What did you think was going to happen? There was not going to be a connection here. They're not going to listen to this dude. Van Gundy, I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, go away. I don't know why you still coaching.
He's a cheaper version of his brother.
And that's not good because his brother wasn't that good.
Well, yeah, they get him at a discount. He's the cheaper version.
I don't know. Like, he deserved to get fired. I'll say that. He deserved that.
Why do you think he deserved to get fired?
When you're paying Brandon Ingram, you got Zion.
Mm-hmm.
You were one of the guys that Drew Bledsoe, you wanted him. You decided to take the ball out of Lonzo's hand. You decided, you were part of all this. And you lost. This is the thing. When you make your bed and you lose, you got nobody else to blame, man.
Yeah.
Does he get that? Does he get that kind of decision making?
Yeah. He has that much input. He has a lot of input in that team.
Oh, well, he needs to go then.
I don't know why anybody tries to get. Geez, I can't think of that guy's name. But yeah, I don't know why you go out your way to get him. But sure.
I mean, it's clear they took the ball out of Lonzo's hand all year.
Yeah.
They gave it to Bledsoe. They gave it to Ingram. And instead of giving it back to Lonzo, they gave it to Zion.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Not the greatest of coaching jobs there. Well, in my opinion, New Orleans should go younger coach, more relatable. There's plenty of them out there. Sam Cassell, Chauncey Billups. There's plenty of guys out there. So hopefully they can find the right coach for them. Hey, Jason Kidd. I don't know if he's sticking around for a Laker job, but
man, I hear he's going to Orlando.
Oh, okay. That's a nice move.
Which goes back to my original point, black coaches taking bad jobs.
No, that's a bad job. I hope he doesn't take that.
If he does that with Boston's open, New Orleans is open.
Orlando, Washington.
Orlando probably the worst job that's available.
What about the
Boston?
Job?
Boston looks good, but that's not a good job.
What, Boston?
Yeah.
It's better than Orlando.
It's better because to me, it's the best job because at least they have consistency. The front office isn't going to change for the next 5 years. They do have 2 stars to work with. And they don't mind spending a little bit of money to get better. So at least you have something to work with there. You got 2 all-stars.
Yeah.
What else do you want?
You're starting out with Tatum and Brown, and hopefully you can unload Kemba,
yeah.
For maybe a couple role players or something.
Agree with that.
I don't know.
All right. Hey, before we get too far into it, man, I think the first thing of NBA, well, one, there's injuries. I mean, there's a whole lot going on. We got injuries. We got COVID protocol. We got teams falling apart. I think something dear to Tyrone's heart. We're going to start with the Philly disaster. The Philly meltdown. The Philly failure. The Philly, I don't know what happened. The Philly disaster. Well, what happened, Tyrone?
I'm going to read you guys something. So over the last 2 postseasons, Doc Rivers has 5 games in the playoffs where he has blown double-digit leads of at least 16.
Yeah.
He's the same coach that blew a 3-1 lead in Orlando. He's the same coach that he blew 3-1 leads in the Clippers, never been to the conference finals with the Clippers. The common denominator is Doc. Everybody wants to blame Ben Simmons. Before we paid him, we know we couldn't shoot. We knew he couldn't shoot. That hasn't changed. Tobias Harris, 4 points, $36 million. You suck. At this point, I'm ready to fire Doc. You could trade Ben and Harris for Dame. Trade Harris, Ben, and some Hennessy or whatever you got to do and get Dame. Get rid of all of them. Every last one of them bums. Drop him off on the expressway. He don't even belong in the building. All of them suck. You have a 26-point lead and you lose, and then you wonder why Philly fans throw batteries at y'all. Y'all suck. I'm done.
Hey, Ben, did you watch the game, man, or did you just see the highlights of this joint?
Luckily I fell asleep, because if I was awake, this wouldn't have went the way it went. If I was awake, I would have watched Atlanta lose and I'd have been upset. But since I fell asleep, woke up about midnight, I was like, oh wait, what happened? Oh, these I was tickled pink, and then I just watched the highlights, and I was scrolling through Twitter and was seeing all of the hate and truth that was being told about Ben Simmons, and I was gobbling that up. And then I started thinking about Doc, and I was like, well, how is he going to work around this? What's his legacy going to be? Because true, he is getting teams into the playoffs, but he is blowing a number of these playoff games when they're up. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the teams are evenly matched and it's a 4 and a 5 seed and you're going back and forth. These are games that his team is predominantly better. It's not and they're losing. So it's I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't think the players have any blame to take in this.
Oh no, they definitely do.
No.
They definitely do. You can't. How do you now? To me, I think that Tobias Harris. How many shots did he take in the second half last night? 4.
Not enough.
I don't know.
2, maybe 3. I don't know.
2. Yeah, it didn't look to me like he shot at all. Like just watching through the highlights and stuff. But
the second,
this is the stat of the game. Philly didn't score for 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Embiid scored his last basket with 8 minutes on the clock in the fourth quarter. This
was the second half. It's only 2 Sixers that scored.
Yeah,
Seth Curry and Joel Embiid.
That's coaching.
I'm gonna tell you what else is coaching. We were up 26-24. Okay, Lou Williams started getting hot. We were down 18. Embiid comes out. Right. That's first dumb. That's just dumb. You see this other team is getting momentum and you take your best player out for a rest. This ain't the time for a rest. Read the game. Your on-the-fly adjustments suck, Doc Rivers. Number 2, you see Lou Williams is cooking Seth Curry, and it takes you to we down 9. We're up 9 at this point. Now you want to put the Thibault on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's too late now. The dude's cooking. He's cooking, yeah. And then they get the lead, or they within 4. Now, starters come back in. The starter should have been back in. His on-the-fly adjustments just suck. They just suck.
Yeah, I agree. There's something to be desired there. And when Lou got hot, I was like, this is looking bad. Now, and also another thing they stopped doing, and Tyrone, you mentioned this to me, and you're right, is that they stopped doubling Trae Young. Probably about mid-third quarter, they decided to go one-on-one with him. At the third quarter, he only had 22 points, and he finished with 38. So that double team apparently was working and you let him pick up another 14, 15 points, most of them at the foul line and a couple threes. I get it. But he was still able to get into the game rhythm more. He was throwing those alley-oops again. And when he starts doing that, it's rough on the Sixers. They can't really defend it that well. So they should have went back to the double team, and they should have came back with their starters earlier.
And when Ben Simmons is not hitting free throws,
take him out.
Take him out. Why are you being that stubborn? You know he can't shoot. He can't shoot. Get over it. He can't shoot. Get over it. Stop being stubborn. Like, and you're like, oh, we need a ball handler. We need a ball handler. Put Maxey in, and that $36 million man, Tobias Harris, that scored 4 points, let him handle the ball.
Yeah. He's good enough to bring it up.
Choke job. This is the biggest choke job in Philadelphia history, man.
So with that, what do y'all think is going to happen in this series? Is Philly done, or are they going to win this and get in the game 7?
Oh, they better go get their fishing license.
All right, you calling it over. What do you think, Ben? You seem like you're rooting for Atlanta, man.
I've been rooting for Atlanta.
Ben.
Oh.
Yeah, I called Atlanta to win, but
yeah, you did. You did.
The NBA is rigged, and it's going to go 7 games.
There we go with that again.
It is. It's going to go.
It's going to go 7,
it's gonna
but
go 7 games. I don't know who's going to win, but it's going to go 7 games.
Well, if it's rigged, then Philly will win.
Well, it's rigged because they want. It's rigged because they want Dame in a bigger market. So this is over. You're right. It is rigged. They want Dame in a bigger market. He's a superstar. It's over.
Are you going to ship? You going to ship?
Ben Simmons, Harris, and a box of Hennessy.
Hey, you want just a bottle of Hennessy? That's a whole box.
You want some Newports? You want some Newports with that? $1 million.
Just a bottle.
Hey,
ship them with a cheesesteak.
Hey, throw in Melo. You want Melo so he can get back to the West Coast. So you get back to the East Coast.
They can have lifetime supply of cheesesteaks if they take them 2 bombs off our hands.
Yeah, let's just send a cheesesteak out with them and call it a day. All right. Hey, enough on that one. Hey, the Clippers, man, playoff P showed up last night. I was watching this game and I was like, oh, they started out pretty good. I didn't think the Clippers would be able to keep pace with Utah because both teams were shooting like 70% the first half. But playoff P kept up the pressure, 34 points, boards, rebounds, assists. What do y'all think of this series? Can playoff P get them a playoff victory?
I got a question.
Yeah.
So playoff P played good. I didn't watch the game. I just watched.
He played real good.
I just watched that. So do you think that he's better?
Yes.
As a number 1 guy instead of a number 2 guy because he knows his role as the number 1 guy?
He plays better without Kawhi. Just does.
Is it just more free of basketball? I'm confused here.
I think it's because he doesn't have to look for another guy. He's the man in this situation. And you could tell, though, he actually had like 8 or 10. He might have had 10 assists last night. But, they're the easy ones. Oh, guys running to the basket, that's a dunk. It wasn't, I'm going to have to find you on the wing. Oh, I got to find you in the post. It was off his creation, off his drive, where he looks for people. With Kawhi on the court, he has to just look for Kawhi or another number 1 type player. He looked better without him. I was surprised, and he kept it up the whole game. I think the biggest change he made in this game last night, he went to the basket. He went to the basket all game. Wasn't taking as many threes as he's been taking.
I mean, that's been the mix for Paul his entire career. If he is aggressive and mixes in those 3-pointers, then he's fine. You know what I'm saying? But if he starts out with drives, sprinkle in some of those 15-footers, and occasionally shoots one of those 3-pointers. But that's my thing for everybody in the NBA. Nobody in the NBA shoots over 40. Few people shoot over 40% from the 3-point line. Nobody should be shooting as many times as they do. There's not anybody that shoots 30% should have 10 attempts.
There's only 4 players who shoot over 40%.
They shouldn't be shooting. I don't understand. But again, the NBA is rigged. And they need this to go 7 games, whether dudes is there or not. So it's just going to happen. It's just going to go back and forth. It's a setup. And can can I talk about how useless um Rudy Gobert is just for 10 seconds? This man is supposed to be the NBA Defensive Player of the Year. I saw him get dunked on at least twice yesterday by guards.
He did get dunked on twice.
he had maybe 3 offensive rebounds yesterday, as they were sort of making a little run, and I was like, they don't even look at him in the post. He is 7 foot tall. He is 8 inches taller than anyone that was checking him yesterday, and he stands there literally with his hands up, and they look at him and be like, "No, I can't. I'd rather throw to this double team than throw you the ball." I mean, Spider shot a hook shot falling out of bounds in double coverage that basically went over the backboard and switched through the net before he even looked at throwing the ball to this guy who was standing wide open in the middle of the paint.
Yeah.
I agree with Charles Barkley. Whatever Charles Barkley said about Rudy Gobert is freaking right.
But can we talk about how Utah's coach is doing really stupid stuff? I know I'm on coaches today, but this coach is an idiot. When you have all these guys up at the 3-point line, you're bringing the double team to Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah,
you're bringing it to him. Why don't you run 4 down?
Yeah, we talked about this the other day. Yeah,
I don't understand the concept. I don't understand what is he thinking, because he's getting double teamed, and if these other guys aren't hitting shots, then Utah's going to lose. Mm-hmm. You got to give Donovan Mitchell some space. He can't split a double team every time.
So
I don't get it.
Also, if you're shooting, because I watched that game because I woke up right by the time it came on. When you are shooting at the clip, they were shooting very well in the beginning of the game, but they weren't ahead. You know what I'm saying? They weren't ahead. If you shoot that well in the beginning of the game and the game is still close, your defense is terrible, because what happens? Third quarter pops up, and all of a sudden them shots aren't falling, and you're going to lose. I don't understand strategy. I don't understand. Yeah, there's no strategy.
There is no strategy.
There was no strategy last night because both teams were, now in the case of Utah, Bogdanovich was on fire. He had like 6 threes in the first half. Now, with all of that, I think he still finished with like 30. So he probably had 8 in the second half or something like that. They let Morris get off. But, it's a freewheeling game. It was just, hey, who can shoot? Shoot. Morris got hot. PG played hot the whole game. There wasn't a whole lot of strategy in this game. It was just like who could outscore who, and the defense was lacking. The only thing I'll say about the Rudy Gobert thing is that they're really missing Mike Conley. And Mike Conley, honestly, is the only person who looks for him. So he only becomes part of the offense when Conley's in there to direct the offense. Dude, other than that, what's his name? Clarkson, he's not passing to anybody. We already know that.
He's not.
And Spider, he don't pass to anybody either. He's not a point guard. He's a scorer. So their job isn't to set him up, and I don't think they really care.
I think Ben was right on something, though. You're right. Can we get rid of the narrative that the game slows down in the playoffs?
It hasn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It has not. That's a false narrative. It doesn't happen anymore. I don't know if it's defense, lack of talent. I don't know what it is, but it hasn't slowed down.
It's because the game has changed so much that it can't slow down now. You're going to play at a faster pace, especially with these smaller lineups on the floor.
Or is it just the number of possessions? Because even though teams aren't, say, when we think of a fast pace, me in my head, I think of the Lakers running a fast break as an offensive set. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But there isn't any team that approaches it that way. Like, they get into early offense and they chuck it up before the shot clock, before they get 10 seconds into the shot clock. And maybe that speeds up the game.
Bad basketball.
It's bad basketball. Yeah, it's bad basketball. They don't get through halfway through a set. So
if you put up a shot 4 seconds after crossing half court, that's a fast game, and that's bad offense. It is what it is. So I think it's just the pace in which analytics or today's coaching says you get up your shot in so many seconds. I mean, it's usually under 12 seconds.
I don't understand what's wrong with moving the ball from side to side and getting a open 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Why do you have to just take one pass, 5 dribbles, shoot? I don't get it.
Dude,
yeah, I don't get it either.
We have the Warriors as an example in the not so distant past of what a motion offense can look like, moving the ball, reversing the ball, guys coming off screens, guys coming off pin downs. You can still drive the ball, you can still get your dribble in, but there's a lot of ball movement. I don't understand I don't understand what these teams are doing for strategy. I don't get it.
And the one thing they proved is you can still score about the same amount of points more efficiently. I mean, they were efficient. I give them that.
Yeah.
Hey, with that though, to get off of them, I don't know if Kawhi is going to be back for this. So, are the Clippers going to win this, or is it going to go to 7? What do you guys think?
So the Kawhi thing, I am confused. Somebody brought it to my attention that the Clippers doctor did not rule him out. His independent doctor ruled him out.
I believe that.
And the Clippers doctor has yet to evaluate. Now, I have yet to see this. Somebody told me this, and I'm trying to find it to see who really ruled him out. But if that's the case, I'm done with Kawhi.
Well, this is what came up in San Antonio, man. This is why he left San Antonio. But it's the same reason.
But if that's true, you have to let the Clippers doctor evaluate you. You can't just say, "Yo, I ain't playing." My doctor said I can't play.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. I agree. But this came up in San Antonio. This came up in Toronto as he was getting better and healing, and then traded to Toronto. His doctor's heavily involved.
I'm going to keep digging, but
yeah, we need to find that.
That's the story. That's the story going around.
And someone could be putting that out. We need to verify that and find out what.
Yeah, but if you notice, the Clippers have not made a statement, and you cannot find a concrete story of what's really going on with him. There's an ACL rumor. There's a swelling rumor. There's a series. There's no concrete evidence of what's really going on.
Yeah, I've heard the ACL rumor. I hope that's not the case. So we'll see. If I think if anything we can learn, Kawhi is going to be cautious. We know he has knee issues. We know it's a problem. He's not going to rush back. So we'll see, and hopefully we can dig and find out some more information on that. Hey, let's move on. Big game tonight. Milwaukee and the Brooklyn Nets. We didn't get a chance to talk about it yet, but hey, I think we asked this last week. Was Kevin Durant going to show to be a great scorer or a great player? Did he answer the bell? And do you think now he's a great player?
There's a new sheriff in town.
Is he the number one in the world?
He's the number one in the world. He's the best in the world, hands down. See, it's a new sheriff in town.
Every time I want to give him that, something happens. And you know what? Let's see him win a ring, man. Let's see him win a ring on this team, and then I'll say he's number one.
49, 17, and 10.
Heck of a stat line.
And James Harden was non-effective.
Harden shouldn't even have played, but he did the job as a decoy. I give him that. He decoyed the heck out of that, man.
Yes, he did.
What? He wouldn't do.
He did. I know he didn't do anything, but he was a decoy.
He threw. I don't understand why he was out there.
Just to be.
That doesn't make sense. I don't know. Again, coaching. I don't know why he wasn't attacked. Why didn't Holiday post him up 6 times? Why, or 100 times? Why didn't anybody who he was guarding, he should have been involved in pick and roll.
You see Giannis.
I'm not even getting. I'm not.
Giannis taking fadeaway jumpers with a one-legged Harden on him.
I'm not even getting.
Giannis has no basketball.
Again, coaching or just grit. I mean, I'm sorry. When I played basketball, and if I was coming down and I knew Jim had the weak dude on him, I was giving Jim the ball. I was like, Jim, bang.
Every
we
time.
was doing it, and we was doing it every time until somebody said, hey, that's cheating. All you do is yeah, that's what we're doing.
It ain't cheating because the game's gonna be over.
That's what we're doing. And there's no way he should have been allowed to make it through an entire. He played the whole game. He played the whole game, dude. What in the world?
Chuck hit it on him now. Chuck was right on. That Milwaukee coach is an idiot, and he will be fired at the end of the series.
Oh I agree with that.
He will be. There's no okay. My non-NBA eye could see in the first 5 minutes, Harden's not opening up. What I mean by opening up, I mean he's not running full speed.
Nope.
This dude can't move. Okay. There's no way I'm letting him off the hook. Whoever Harden's guarding, attack him. All day, every day, till he just either hurt himself or take himself out of the game.
Yep.
And in that fourth quarter, when Durant was going crazy, you seen no double teams. There's not one film or highlight where you see him facing two people.
Mm-hmm.
That's an idiot as a coach.
I'll give them they were contested shots, but either Tucker was on them, or they had Middleton on them, or they
what
had
is Tucker, 6'4"?
on them. Exactly. He's not tall enough. And he plays the physical game with them, but he's not tall enough to affect the shot.
And again, Giannis, all-team defensive player. I don't care what your coach says. I don't care what the game plan is. You should be checking Kevin Durant. I understand you don't want to get tired out. You don't want to run through fouls through the first 3 or 4 quarters. Fine. But that last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, what reason does he have not guard Durant? They're the same height. They play the same position. What?
He almost fouled out without guarding him.
I don't get it.
I think their concern is he'll foul out, and he probably would because we all question his basketball acumen. That's the only reason I can think of for him not guarding him, because they think he'll foul out.
I'll say this for everybody that watches this podcast, thank you. But everyone that called me and said I was crazy for saying Giannis don't know how to play basketball, this is why.
He has no idea.
We're all on the same page, so they can hate all of us on that probably. Because Giannis is a wonderful athlete, and he is a great scorer of the ball. But to me, in basketball, he's a center or a power forward, and that's pretty much the role he probably should play. Not a ball handler, not a shooter. He's a finisher. He's a dunker. He's an offensive rebounder. Nothing wrong with that, and he's great at it. But he is not this great all-around MVP player. He's just not. I mean, and we saw that at the end of the game. You can't put the ball in his hand because he can't shoot foul shot. He can't get you a 10-foot jump shot in consistently. He doesn't have a dedicated post move. He doesn't have a go-to move. So what good is that if you have to put the ball in Middleton's hands to close out a game or to close out a quarter? But that's not what MVPs do. MVPs can close out a game, can close out a quarter.
Did y'all see the last 2 plays? Middleton had Durant on skates, and he dropped a perfect pass to Giannis.
Dropped
it. I'm like, is Kwame Brown playing? Like, what is going on?
Did you say Bobby Brown?
Kwame Brown.
Oh, Kwame Brown. Oh,
Kwame Brown.
Let's leave Kwame out of it. But yeah, I saw that, and that to me, it was like, dude, he handed you the ball. You had a dunk. One step, dunk.
I mean, he shook Durant. I was like, oh.
Shook him.
I didn't know he had that in his box.
And it wasn't like it was a hard pass. A lot of times you see where guards put a little too much heat on, little flip passes like that. That wasn't a hard
It was
pass.
catchable.
You know what I'm saying?
was
That
a
was very
handoff.
catchable.
Yeah, it was catchable, man. It was an easy catch and an easy dunk. And
but to your point, answer your question. No, Kevin Durant is not the best player in the NBA.
He's not pound for pound. Who's
Who
pound
is?
for pound? Then?
Who's better?
Who's the number one?
Who was it before?
LeBron
still.
Yeah. So it's still LeBron until he wins the championship.
No.
Well, that's what I just said. I'm like, let him win it, and then I'll crown him.
Yeah.
Let who win it?
Let Durant win the championship this year, and I'll crown him number one.
Oh, this in the trunk. This in the trunk.
Yeah, just show me the ring first, and then
I'll
I'll
play
give
my
you
son.
Dude,
I don't want to see some excuse pop up down the road. Oh, I want to see him just win it. But, I mean, Durant's unbelievable, man. He's a beast. But to me, it goes back to he won him in Golden State. Okay, he had Steph Curry, he had Klay Thompson. I know he was the MVP of those, and that's cool and all. But let's see him win one here at the Nets, and then he's pound for pound.
The only reason I say he's the best is because every question I had in that game, I was like, well, he doesn't rebound. He doesn't initiate the offense. He don't play defense. And he answered every question.
He answered them all.
Yeah, but he did it for one game.
Exactly.
I don't care.
He had the luxury of not being
having to do it every game.
Do it. And you don't get you popped off one game. Shoot, Charles Barkley had a similar game when he played against Seattle or somebody when he played for the 94, 95. He scored the same number of points almost. Now, dude is efficient as far as scoring. I give you that. When he's on, what do he shoot? 23, 28 shots?
He's shooting like 62%.
So, Ben, you contradicting yourself right now, right?
No, I'm not. Why?
So Ben,
hold on.
Was healthy. Your sons wouldn't have won.
What'd you say?
Basically, you saying if LeBron was healthy, your sons wouldn't have won.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
He's not saying that. I don't think.
Okay. You saying he the best player in the world still, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
until he's uncrowned, until the crown is taken.
Yeah.
He been uncrowned. So he's been uncrowned.
No one's won the ring yet, man. They gotta win the championship first.
Yeah, he gotta win.
They gotta win. Whoever has to win. Somebody gotta win. The Nets ain't guaranteed a championship this year.
So if Devin Booker wins the championship this year, he the best player in the world?
No. I'd say it continues with LeBron until he's unseated.
Yeah, you got to win. All contenders.
Kawhi's out the mix now. We see that. You can't. I had LeBron 1, Kawhi 1A, right? And then I had Durant at 2, But like somebody got to win. If one of them two win, then they the pound for pound for this year.
So Durant win, he the king.
He the king if he wins this year. Yes, pound for pound. Yeah, I give him that. So what do y'all think is going to happen here? Well, I think what got lost in this, Milwaukee was up big in this game.
They were up 20, what? Right now? 20.
They were up 20, and then the Nets just started rolling downhill. Jeff Green, shout out to Jeff Green, Georgetown. Jeff Green was hot. One of the most underrated role players in the league. You see why he has stuck around for 13 plus years. I've always been a big Jeff Green fan. You know what? He's found his niche here with these Nets. I'm happy for him, and he's balling out as always. So good for him. And so to him, hey, him and Durant carried the load. They won the game. So what's going to happen tonight? Is Giannis going to show up, or is the Nets going to go ahead and close these guys out?
Milwaukee will win tonight because the role players will shoot better at home. And then there'll be a game 7 in Brooklyn.
I can agree with that because they always play. They play good at 5-serve. Even Giannis plays better at 5-serve.
Yeah, so
arena. So I can see that happening. What do you think, Ben?
The NBA is rigged, and they need to go to 7 games. So of course,
I'm trying to get some NBA sponsorship at some point.
Okay,
right?
man.
Stop saying this, man.
It's bad coaching and it's stupid players, and it's going to go 7 games. They got nothing else.
That's like working for ESPN and talking bad about the NFL. You're going to lose your job.
We don't
that's
work for
how it
any.
works,
We
right?
don't work for any of them. Screw them.
You're right about that. We don't. Not even close. But I'm just saying. All right. All right. Enough with that. All right. Last but not least, what other games we got? So Philly and Atlanta, they go back at it tomorrow. We talked about that. And then Utah and of course the Clippers, they'll go. We didn't pick a winner for the Utah Clippers, did we? What did we decide on that?
Hey, pause for a second. Pause for a
Yeah.
second. Y'all hear that?
What?
No.
This dude out here cutting grass. I didn't know if y'all heard it or not.
No, we can't hear it.
No, here.
Oh, then keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, we don't hear it. Did we pick a winner for the Utah Clippers?
No, we did not.
All right. I'm gonna say Clippers in 7.
I'm hoping that Kawhi Leonard is able to come back for the conference finals. So I'm gonna go Clippers in 7.
What do you got, Ben?
I'm completely disgusted with defensive players that can't score. So I think at one point I might have picked against the Clippers. So now I'm changing. If I had before, I'm changing it to the Clippers in 7.
Clippers in 7. Okay. All right. Enough of that. That's all the playoff matchups. Hey, one big other thing I think we could talk about real quick. They came out with the all NBA teams, first, second, and third. Now, 2 omissions from those teams of importance: Jason Tatum and the Spider, Donovan Mitchell.
Devin Booker.
Oh, and Devin. Yeah, Devin Booker too, right?
Yeah, he didn't make it.
All right, so Devin Booker, no Mitchell, and no Tatum, which of course what means for them is they lose Supermax. That's an extra 33 million they pretty much lost there for the opportunity of gaining. Do you guys think they should have been on one of these 3 teams?
Yes.
What would you put Mitchell or Tatum on? Second team, third teams, or what?
For Donovan Mitchell, I'm taking Kyrie off and putting Donovan Mitchell there.
What?
Okay.
I'm taking Kyrie Irving off and putting Donovan Mitchell there. Yeah.
Kyrie was on the third team.
Yes. Jimmy Butler, I'm taking him off and I'm putting Tatum.
Yeah, agree with that.
Other than that, I think every year somebody gonna get left out because I'm looking at this first team guards. You got Luka and Steph. Second team, you got Chris Paul and Dame. I'm not taking either one of them off. So either way, one of them guards are going to get left out, either Mitchell or Booker. One of them. It's a guard heavy league. It's a tough out.
Just so y'all know, and Ben, we'll get your answer here. First team, pretty solid. Steph, Giannis, Luka, Joker, and Kawhi. Second team, Chris Paul. Julius Randle is a question mark to me. Dame Lillard, Embiid, LeBron. Third team, Gobert, Butler, George, Beal, Kyrie.
I don't know. It's fine. There's no way I don't care defense or not. There's no way I'm ever putting Rudy Gobert on an all anything anymore.
Me neither.
I put Aiden on there before. I put him as a center. Joel Embiid second is fine. It was second is fine. Yeah, I'm fine with it. Maybe Butler not. Maybe like you said, maybe Tatum.
I mean, how many games did Kyrie play this
year? Kyrie to me shouldn't have been on the third team.
Oh, you're talking about him not playing games?
He missed at least 20 games, probably. He missed at least 20. Let's just say 20, 18 to 20, whatever, in that ballpark. The only change I would probably have here, shout out to Julius Randle. I think he had a great year, but I think I would have moved him down to third team. I would have put Tatum on the second team, and then I would have took off Butler and put whatever, either one of them. I'm taking off Butler and Kyrie and I would throw Mitchell and the other guy in that slot, Booker, right? I'd throw them both in those slots, and you're done.
Julius Randle was number. Oh, he was.
He was on the second team.
He was on the second team.
Yeah, I would have pushed him down the third team.
I don't understand how the top 2 shooting guards in the Western Conference, as far as ranking, for as records, are not on the All-NBA team.
Yeah,
I thought we rewarded winning. What happened to that?
Yeah, and winning teams.
Yeah, I thought that was part of it.
Now, Bill, I think, gets a pass. Hence why he only ends up on the third team, because team
He was second in scoring.
Yeah, exactly. As I'm agreeing, he should be on the All-NBA team, but he makes it for his scoring, not for his team success. Kyrie probably makes it because of team success, but I think he missed too many games. George, question mark to me. I don't really know if he should be on the third All-NBA team, but he did have he was at his close to his career highs and averages and everything. So that's a reason. Butler, don't get it at all. He didn't have a very good season.
But I would put Dame on the first team over Luka too.
Over who?
Over Luka. I put Dame over Luka at the first team.
Okay.
Wow.
Discussion.
He Dame had a great year. He averaged 28 and 7, shot 45% from the field. He carried that team. I don't know.
Yeah.
They both deserve to be on the team. That first team,
it's tough.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, first team's tough. When you got to push LeBron down to the second team, that's a tough pick. And then we know why LeBron's down there. One, he missed so many games, and that's pretty much it. So his second team, it is what it is. Embiid, and that's the crazy thing. Embiid was an MVP candidate this season, and he's on the second team. Dame, not an MVP candidate, but a heck of a player, great scoring average this year. There's a case for second team guys to flop with the first team as well. So,
but my question is, why do we talk about positionless basketball in every aspect of the game except for awards? Why can't we just put the top 5 players on the first team, first all team? I don't get it.
I think it's some kind of fairness thing they haven't got over yet.
We don't. That's all we hear: positionless basketball, positionless basketball. Except when it comes to awards, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it
either. What did they do when when Tim Duncan and Garnett and all those guys were playing? There had to be years where Garnett was like, "Man, I'm never going to make the first team."
Well, that would be good to look up, because I'd be interested to see how they did that.
I don't know. I wish they would base it off of the playoffs, because watching these disgusting things, I wouldn't have Giannis in here either.
Ben, you got a good point though. Because back in the day in the Western Conference, at one point you had Karl Malone, David Robinson, not David Robinson, excuse me, Tim Duncan, and Kevin Garnett vying for starting power forward in the West.
So Garnett only made first team All NBA 4 times his whole career: 2000, 2003, 2004, and 2008.
Okay.
I'm sure Tim Duncan was multiple times.
Multiple times, yeah.
Yeah, multiple times.
All right. Hey, with that, y'all, this has been the No Culture for Old Men podcast. Enjoy these NBA games while they last. As Benji says, they're all going to Game 7, so you got at least 2 more games to watch.
And football is coming. Football is coming.
Yeah, football is coming.
Get your prop bets out. Put your money on it.
Fantasy football is coming.
Yeah, as we get closer to football season, we'll start bringing out some more football talk. There's plenty to talk about. Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields is going to start in Chicago. Russell Wilson's half apology for not wanting to leave Seattle. There's a whole bunch to talk about, and we'll get to that in the coming weeks. You saw Russell Wilson's press conference where he swear that he didn't want to go anywhere.
That's just because Sierra didn't want to move. That's all.
Yeah. You sure she didn't want to move to
Why would
New
he
York or
I'm just guessing. I don't
LA
know.
or
I'm
why
just
would he
guessing.
want?
I don't
Why
know.
would he want to move?
the
don't
rumor
care.
was he said, "Oh, I'm gonna name 4 teams you'd rather play for," and he named them.
Well, his offensive line sucks.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
he wants to leave. But football's coming. Everybody watch this podcast.
Yeah.
I will not
Yeah.
be participating in any of it. So it's fine. It's fine.
See, that light skin mess, man.
Yeah, it's been No Coach for Old Men podcast, y'all. Don't forget to like us, follow us on IG, YouTube, and everything else. We appreciate y'all.